Hello, beautiful and rational people. After 5 long months of a saddening but necessary absence, I'm afraid I miscalculated when I said that I would be gone for 1.5 months. Grad school was a lot harder than I thought, and during my Christmas break from mid-December to late January, I had to make some content changes to my second novel. After all, it has not yet been published, so I want to bring my second novel up to perfection. Hopefully, when my second novel does get published, you'll deem it to be worth the 5-month wait for brand new videos. In order to reward you all for waiting this long, I will be creating contests, plural, so that each of you has an equal opportunity of winning exclusive prizes. I need to first get these exclusive prizes, but I'll have them by the end of March. In the meantime, here is a long-awaited video on Skepticism 101. Today, I'm going to go over the 4th Creationist Objection to Evolution. I said in my last video on this subject that I would finish up on these objections, but the 5th objection actually requires more research than I anticipated. So for now, I'm just going to give the 4th objection. However, I will rebut the 5th objection in next week's Skepticism 101 video. Creationist objection number 4. Life is far too irreducibly complex to have evolved by natural selection. This is a variation of William Paley's watchmaker argument for intelligent design. Just as William Paley argued that humans require human makers in the same way that a watch requires a watchmaker, the argument from irreducible complexity says this: each organism is made up of several complex but necessary parts, and if you take away one of those parts, then the entire organism falls apart. The old Earth creationists who make this argument typically use a watch as an analogy, hearkening back to William Paley, but the creationist biologist, yes, you heard that right, creationist biologist. The creationist biologist Michael Behe uses a mousetrap. In a televised debate between creationists and evolutionists, Michael Behe was one of the creationist participants, but one of the evolutionist participants was a Catholic evolutionary biologist named Ken Miller. That's right, a Catholic evolutionary biologist. This guy doesn't have any atheistic bias. He managed to prove during this televised debate that even if you replace one of the so-called necessary parts of a mousetrap with something else, the mousetrap still works. Ken Miller's point was not that an organism would still work perfectly if you stopped at taking out one of its necessary parts. Rather, his point was that there is an abundance of options for an organism's components. The organism is not so complex that it requires a perfect arrangement of different parts. It's actually simpler than you think when you realize that the 4 organic compounds are proteins, lipids, nucleic acids, and non-pentose carbohydrates. I say non-pentose because pentose is a carbohydrate that exists within nucleic acids. I have cited the televised debate in the description below. So once again, I have struck down an old Earth creationist objection to evolution. I'll speak in a few minutes about History 01 in my next video, but don't worry, I'll make sure to bring you all back up to speed.